Hello, church. I've already got a huge smile on my face as we continue in Song of Songs. In four, there might be a level of blushing that comes along with today. Weems does not restrain some of her comments, but does it handles this portion of the text really beautifully, and with one caveat at the end in her commentary that I also felt that we needed to address because it's an interesting observation and important for us. So, all righty, we have a little bit of introduction coming into a new section. So she is identifying chapter 4, verse 1 through chapter 5, verse 1 as our next kind of bookended portion and thematic thing. She will reference part of what we talked about yesterday. So at the conclusion of chapter 3, we have this uplifting of a vision of King Solomon coming on the litter and being led by this group of, or being surrounded by this group of 60 Maya warriors and coming in for in essence, this vision of a wedding processional. She is going to connect that with our portion today. She entitles this part, "How Beautiful Are You, My Love?" And this, or "How Beautiful You Are, My Love." And this is going to be the protagonist lover extolling largely her body. So here it is. Here we go. This is her overview, which is just solid. If there is any connection between the wedding scene that the protagonist fantasizes about and the lover's celebration of the beloved's body in this portion of 4:1 to 5:1, it is this. The flattery and praise he lavishes upon her in this unit are the stuff of wedding night seductions. The shepherd extols the woman's beauty. He admires her eyes. He praises her hair. He compliments her teeth. He relishes her lips and mouth. He delights in her cheeks. He loves her neck, and he fawns over her breast. Hers is the kind of beauty, he says in 4:6 to 8, that draws him to her. As a shepherd, he uses the native gifts of the desert to describe his lover's beauty. Fauna, pomegranate, the landscapes of Gilead, his lavish bodily compliments known as wasfs, and that's WASFS. This is a word that has come up previously in the commentary. I don't think I mentioned it just in case it was a little too academic, but it's this classification of compliments and adornments that is common for the literature, based on parallels with Syrian nuptial songs that poetically describe and celebrate a beloved's body, are unheard of elsewhere in Scripture. Of the 4 wasfs in Song of Songs, 3 focus on the beauty of the woman's body. This one, belonging as it does to a larger tribute to her beauty, is striking in both what it says and what it does not say. That part she's going to hit in the final comment in her commentary. And I don't know if I've ever done a for our daily devotional. A lot of woos, but yeah. Here we go. Song of Songs 4:1 to 8, a woman's beauty. This is also one of those rare moments in pastoral ministry where I'm aware that this is one of those things that I would introduce by saying, "Kids, it's time for bed." Sorry. Okay. How beautiful you are, my love. How very beautiful. Your eyes are doves behind your veil. Your hair is like a flock of goats moving down the slopes of Gilead. Paul's there. A flock of goats going down the hills? Context, right? Oh, context. Your hair is like a flock of goats moving down the slopes of Gilead. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn ewes that have come up from the washing, all of which bear twins, and not one among them is bereaved. Your lips are like a crimson thread, and your mouth is lovely. Your cheeks are like halves of a pomegranate behind your veil. Your neck is like the Tower of David built in courses. On it hang 1,000 bucklers, all of them shields of warriors. Your two breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle. Sorry. I went from two fawns to the gazelles thing, and that was intriguing. There's also, you hear the twin stuff in there, right? Yeah, that's coming up multiple times too. Your two breasts are like two fawns, twins of a gazelle that feed among the lilies. Until the day breeze and the shadows flee, I will hasten to the mountain of myrrh and the hill of frankincense. You are altogether beautiful, my love. There is no flaw in you. Come with me from Lebanon, my bride. Come with me from Lebanon. Depart from the peak of Amana, from the peak of Senir and Hermon, from the dens of lions, from the mountains of leopards. So a couple things hearkening back to that overview. One, the den of lions and the mountains of leopards, these threats that the shepherd faces because of his vocation, and then being called from those places into the safety of love. Neat section. Twin stuff. Your teeth are like a flock of shorn ewes that have come up from the washing, all of which bear twins, and not one of them is bereaved. I don't know if she does any specific commentary on those verses, and I will look back, and we might need to do some catch up for yesterday, but I'm assuming that's line about the productivity of the animals that they are raising and the fullness and completion of that. And then we also have the twins of a gazelle in reference to our protagonist breast. That's funny. All right. So since we're already in it, I might as well go ahead and make the random comments that are popping into my head. I don't know if you've seen the movie Shakespeare in Love with Gwyneth Paltrow and Ralph Fiennes, or however you pronounce his last name. But there's this really cute setup, which is Shakespearean in its nature, of her pretending to be a male so that she can act in one of Shakespeare's plays. And oddly enough, playing Romeo in Romeo and Juliet before he realizes kind of this what's happening and how that's playing out. But he starts describing the ladies' physical attractions, and she's kind of in her character, Thomas of Kent. She's kind of goading him as he continues to describe, and just recognizing his flawless image of this person he's become enamored with. And that description of being no flaw in you is an intriguing one. Now, all right, enough from me. Back to Weems, and this is the part where she mentioned the things that the beloved of the protagonist does not discuss. Notice, however, that while the black-skinned woman defends her complexion in 1:5, the shepherd extols every part of her body except her complexion. While the woman's race or complexion is not the chief focus of the book, it would be inaccurate to assume that color played no role in standards of beauty, health, and social acceptability. she references then Miriam and Moses' Ethiopian wife in Numbers 12. Ancient lyricists were indeed aware of color differences and preferences, but the emphasis of Song of Songs is not on color so much as it is on the pain and power of love. Good word. Although the book opens with the maiden's somewhat defensive comments about her skin color, it seems odd that her suitor never addresses directly the matter of her color. With so much care given in this praise song to elaborating on the details of her body, one would expect to find in chapter 4, 1 to 15, some flattering comment about her complexion. One cannot deny the significance of his silence. Perhaps he did not think the matter worth commenting on, or perhaps dwelling on other aspects of her beauty and charm, i.e., eyes, hair, teeth, lips, cheeks, neck, scent, was the shepherd's way of rebuffing his critics and making it clear what attributes had for him the greater allure. In his eyes, she is flawless. Very intriguing. This is, and then here's one of the things that I very much appreciate about scholarly work, and then also scholars who are coming from different backgrounds, perspective, races than I do, cause other things, pique your interest, and draw you in. For me, it's a chance of looking at things through a little different angle, like of a prism, and to see the insights that come along with that. Even if we want to dismiss that comment from Weems, asking the question ultimately about why is her beloved not addressing who Weems readily identifies as this dark-skinned woman, it is intriguing and a different way of looking at the text. All right, that's it for today. More than blushing, that was a heck of a lot of fun, and hope that you enjoyed today's devotional. We'll be back with you as we continue in this the next portion from chapter 4 and continuing in the protagonist beloved's comparisons and uplifting of her beauty. All right, that's it for today. Good night, kids. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.